unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
or the free iHeartRadio app.
This week in gaming with Naomi Kyle.
Hello everybody, I'm Naomi Kyle and welcome back to This Week in Gaming. This week we're catching up on this week's Nintendo Direct, another PS5 price hike, and everything that happened at Gamescom. We've got all of this week's gaming news. Let's get started. The price of the PS5 is increasing yet again, and this time gamers in the US are the ones struck by sticker shock. On August 21st, the price of the PS5 models increased to $550 for the base model, $500 for the digital model, and $750 for the PS5 Pro. The price hike is due to tariffs in the US making their impact across various imports outside of the gaming sphere. It's crazy to think that we're living in a timeline where buying a console at launch is turning out to be the cheapest time to buy a console. Week in and week out, Nintendo has been cranking out Direct after Direct, and I've got to say, I could get used to this. This week's Nintendo Direct dedicated 45 minutes to Kirby Air Riders and was hosted by the GOAT, Masahiro Sakurai. If you didn't catch it, here's what you missed. Things have changed a lot in 20 years, and unlike its predecessor, Kirby Air Ride, which offered just a handful of playable characters such as Meta Knight, King Dedede, and colored variations of Kirby, Kirby Air Riders will feature at least 12 playable characters. All characters play a little differently from each other to add some spice, and to balance it all out, each character will also have Kirby's iconic copy ability. Sakurai also revealed that developers from both Bandai Namco and Sora, who worked on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, are teaming up again to make Kirby Air Riders the very best game it can be. Kirby Air Riders is almost here, and it hits store shelves on November 20th, just in time for the holiday season. I've heard great things about Kirby Air Riders from some of my friends who've played it at Gamescom, and they say it plays like Super Mario Kart crossed with Smash Bros. Sounds like a day one pickup for me. Gamers from across the globe flocked to Cologne, Germany for the world's largest gaming event, Gamescom. The event lasted from August 19th until the 24th, and there were a lot of huge reveals. So let's not waste any more time and dive on in. We finally got news about Hollow Knight's Silksong, and thankfully the game is alive and well. So well, in fact, that the game's developer, Team Cherry, announced that Silksong's release date is just weeks away. Hollow Knight Silksong launches on September 4th. A new LEGO Batman game was announced during the opening night show. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight has a lot of people talking, and those who have played the demo at Gamescom are saying it is a miniaturized version of the Batman Arkham games. Game Science, the devs who created Black Myth Wukong, announced that they are working on the next game in their Black Myth series titled Black Myth Shanghui. The game will follow the story of the popular Chinese folktale Shanghui Banishing Evil. Attendees at Gamescom got a look at the latest Call of Duty installment, Black Ops 7. The game's campaign is set in the not-so-far future of 2035. There will, of course, be multiplayer and, most importantly, zombies to slaughter. Black Ops 7 is set to launch on November 17th, and remember to mark your calendars because there will be an open beta available to play from October 5th until October 8th. Ghost of Yotei announced that they will be bringing back the Legends multiplayer from Ghost of Tsushima. Unfortunately, the multiplayer won't be available at launch, but we can expect it in an update sometime in 2026. Microsoft announced that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be migrating over to the Nintendo Switch 2 as the first of hopefully many Xbox games coming to the Switch 2. And last but certainly not least, we were treated to a new trailer for Fallout Season 2. Walton Goggins and Ella Purnell are back in the saddle and exploring the wild world of New Vegas. And as an early Christmas present to fans, Season 2 will air this year on November 17th.
Quest complete.
So that's the news for this week. It's now time to chat with our guest. Victor Lucas joins us to chat about all the big reveals from Gamescom 2025.
Select game mode. Multiplayer.
Victor, welcome back. It's good to have you.
Oh, I love coming on your show, Naomi. Anytime.
Woohoo! Well, it's a good week to be talking games because Gamescom was this past week. Gamescom keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. Actually, it is one of the most big video game cons that I know of. Like, I've been there in person and there's so many people all the time.
Yeah, and Jeff Keighley, who we both know is a friend of ours and a huge proponent for this video game industry and in the many things that he produces, he's basically been saying that E3 is gone, at least for the foreseeable future. And Gamescom has really kind of picked up the baton. I think it's a shared load now between Tokyo Game Show and PAX West and Gamescom. The absence of E3 is felt, though.
Yes.
But Gamescom is exciting, and I think it's a really good opportunity for developers to be a little bit further along on their titles as we're approaching the ever important holiday season, and they can show off a little bit more. They can tease a little bit more. They give us a glimpse into 2026 as well. So yeah, it was a good show. Absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed like a good one this year. There was a lot of games, at least in my wheelhouse of games that I like, that were announced, which was really
It's
cool.
Lego Batman, isn't it? How long,
oh my God,
how long
yes.
do we have to
How
wait
did you
until
know?
we start talking about Lego Batman? Legacy of the Dark Knight. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
Oh my God.
You read me like a book. All right, well, let's talk Lego Batman.
We're all thinking Lego Batman. Where did that come from?
Totally left field, but it looks so funny and fun. I can't wait to play it. It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of TT Games. Our company produced the making of the first Lego Batman game. Even by the time they did that, they'd already had this great legacy of fantastic Lego experiences. But, Batman is my fave. So that was a really cool honor to work with WB and TT and get to know the team. We went to Knutsford, which is just outside of Manchester, and we had an amazing time. And then I love Skywalker Saga. I don't know if you played Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I know Star Wars is a brand that's kind of exhausted some people, but, not me.
Right.
I love Star Wars, been there for everything along the way. And so Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga was phenomenal, and it really was massive. And I actually had one of the developers on my show asking about what the future was. And I know I asked them if they could make Lego James Bond, which would be an incredible thing if they ever did that. But I might have teased like a big, in a question, are you working on a big Lego Batman open world? Or I can't remember. But it's a natural fit and it's a natural progression. And I like this idea that you're not going to be playing a million characters. You're really just going to be various versions of Batman and traipsing through the cinematic history. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of really cool in-jokes and an homage to Adam West and the Burt Ward era. I'm over the moon. I can't wait.
It looks so fun. It was such a nice surprise to see that show up. And definitely, for me at least, when it comes to Gamescom, that was my highlight, as we know. No surprise there. Really quick, Kirby Air Riders was another one.
Yes.
I think it was playable at Gamescom from what I saw. Yep. What did you think of that? It's such a weird thing. I love Kirby, but I wouldn't think Kirby goes with Smash. Well, definitely with Smash, but not with Mario Kart at least. I thought that whole mashup was a little strange. What did you think?
I reviewed the original, on our show, and reviewed it with Tommy Tellerico, my co-host at the time, and we were both scratching our heads. It was like, okay, this is kind of cute and fun, but it's not Mario Kart. Tommy liked it a lot less than I did, for the record. But I couldn't see a path forward. So when it was announced at the Switch 2 launch direct, it was like, okay, really? And Sakurai-san is going to be shepherding this? Weird, but I love the direct that they put together, sort of going in 45 minutes onto the game. And the thing that I love the most is that we get a little more insight into who Masahiro Sakurai is, the genius of the guy.
He's kind of funny.
He's so funny and so candid, and really we get an examination of his philosophy of keeping things super, super simple on the surface level, but there's a tremendous amount of depth, even if you're only using one or two buttons and some sort of, pretty routine controls. It really opens up. And so now I can't freaking wait to play this game, even though we're going to have the Sonic Cross Worlds, awesome racing experience with Pac-Man was introduced as a guest, and Minecraft's going to be in there. Minecraft or Mario Kart World is, I think Nintendo's got some big plans for that. I don't know. It's just speculation, but I think we might start to see through the holidays some sort of future additions to Mario Kart World. And now we're going to have Kirby Air Riders, which I think is going to be huge. I think it's going to be a very big and fun game.
I love it. I'm wearing pink right now, so I'm always thinking about Kirby.
You're very Kirby-esque, yeah.
I'm very Kirby-esque right now. All right, let's cut quick to games out this week, and we'll be right back.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.
Games out this week.
Starting on August 26th, Helldivers 2 drafts gamers on Xbox Series X and S to join the fight. And Gears of War Reloaded rips onto the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and is available day one on Game Pass. On August 27th, Kaput Mortem launches exclusively on PC. Stories of Seasons Grand Bazaar harvests on PC and Switch. Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed World warps exclusively onto the Nintendo Switch 2. Then on August 28th, Destiny Rising raids mobile devices. Varlet and Super Robot Wars Y clash on PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. The Nightling swears loyalty to the PS5, PC, Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater alerts the guards on PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. On August 29th, Lost Soul Aside transforms onto the PS5 and PC, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance somersaults onto all platforms. The Epic Game Store is offering 2 free games this week, Make Way and Machinarium, which will be available for download from August 28th until September 4th.
Quest accepted.
Gamescom, there's obviously a lot. There's a lot to talk about.
Yep.
What did you think of the fact that the hype is real? Silksong is not only coming out soon, but we saw a whole gameplay reveal at the show. Did you watch the gameplay reveal? Also, are you a Hollow Knight fan?
I like Hollow Knight, but it really kicks my butt. It's a really difficult
hard game.
But I have played a lot of hard games since Hollow Knight came out, and I feel like I'm ready, Naomi. I feel like I can go back to it, and I want to play it. I don't know if I'll beat it in time for Silksong, but I love this story, and I do love the aesthetics and the look and the feel and the music and the characters, the moodiness of it all. And I love that Team Cherry just buckled down and just made this the game that they wanted to, and they took the time to do it. It's been like 6 or 7 years. It took them a long time, but this is their passion, and it's certainly on display here. I think it's going to be a massive success, just like the first game was. I can't wait to play it, and I expect it's going to kick my butt. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. Like, that's one of those games where, Dark Souls and all those are like a mother load, but something like Silksong is something that I could just play on, my consoles and really take the time with it and just appreciate for what it is. And it's something that even if it kicks my butt, I'm okay with it.
Yep. I think there's something to be said. There's an artistry to these really difficult games. That I think what it is you need to make the time to learn the mechanics on them. And I'm a reviewer of a lot of things, and this is what I tell my viewers all the time. And so I have to jump off after a certain point. Mm-hmm. But there is a tremendous amount of value. It's very, very much like the old arcade experience where you would plop down a quarter and you would just keep going for as long as you could on that quarter, and then you would die, you'd lose your 3 lives, and you'd have to do it again, And so there's that direct connection to the roots of the video game industry, which I love. But yes, they're difficult, but they just demand your patience and your time. And I think the best ones in this category, the Elden Rings, which was on display for Switch 2, which is pretty cool at Gamescom, the Dark Souls, and there's perhaps too many copycats out there.
Right.
But the best ones in that space are challenging, but they reward you with your perseverance and your patience and your ability to learn and adapt and keep going, and I think Silksong will do that too.
I think so too. September 4th, crazy how soon.
I know.
It's crazy. I also saw this made me think of you. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on the Switch too.
I'm so excited.
Are you going to play it again?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I played it twice on Xbox. I'm more than halfway through on PlayStation 5. I've played it on Steam Deck, I think, and or on the ROG LAX. But I can't wait to play it on the Switch too. I think this is a great story for the platform. Obviously, that it's coming out next year, so it'll probably have all the DLC. I'm just waiting for Xbox and Bethesda and Machine Games to say that it was successful enough that more is coming. There's too much good work in the first game, big time. But what I want Xbox to do, and I've been quite vocal about this is their opportunity to put the whole game on a physical piece of media. It should be on the cartridge. We're seeing major backlash to the key cards. How many videos have we all seen now of YouTubers just like, no, and the sales are bearing that out. I would almost say to somebody like Capcom to re-release Street Fighter 6 on the full game cartridge, and you're going to sell a whole bunch more of that game because it's a great port of Street Fighter to the Switch 2. I expect Indiana Jones is going to be a great port for, the cool thing about it not being out right away is that developers will have more time to really learn the machine. And the machine will also have a lot of analytical information about the DLSS technology and there'll be patches for the console and a lot of finesse that can go into making Indie on Switch 2 really special. But it will be an amazing collectible if it's on cartridge. And I really want Nintendo and maybe it's a thing where Nintendo has to step up and say, we'll do it, we'll cover it, we'll co-publish it or something. But it's a good fit. I mean, they could have an indie Switch 2,
Yeah,
I'd buy one. I'd buy one just to have an Indiana Jones themed Switch 2.
Just like they did with
amazing.
the 3DSs, have those variations on the consoles. Yeah, I would love something like that.
Yeah,
oh my
you
gosh,
could do the whole Indiana Jones at the temple, like rubbing his chin and pouring sand out to pick up the Switch 2. I mean, at the very least, it could be for the console. I keep saying this belongs in a museum. And it's about the cartridge, right? Like you want it to be a collectible that belongs in your museum, right? You want to.
That's right.
It breaks my heart that all the other versions of the game have been digital only. Like people have bought the boxes and stuff, and they're empty. I mean, I know. There's
crazy. A market there that's not being utilized. Let's
Big
just
time.
Sitting there and people, and there's always this talk, and it's been very much stuff we've talked about, like how the game preservation era is upon us. So we are, realizing that a lot of the games we end up playing sometimes disappear, and then there's nothing to show for it. So it'd be better if they tapped into that market. I think they would make good money. I think it would be a viable business.
They could re-release it on PS5 and Xbox
so many things.
And sell tons. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, this is a character that's been around since the early 80s. There's a ton of people like myself that, saw Raiders in the theater for the first time. We're never not going to be diehard Indiana Jones fans. And it's about a character that's about preservation. He collects antiquities, what are you saying?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so right. I'll talk to my friends at Nintendo and see what they say. So anything else at Gamescom stand out to you, maybe that we haven't talked about today?
Well, I like the nice little look at Keeper, the new Double Fine game where you play as a lighthouse and there's a little bird flying around. I think that looks beautiful.
Love
I can't
seeing
wait
Double
for that.
Fine back in it. Mm-hmm.
I love Double Fine. I thought the Masters of the Universe Brawler was pretty cool, and I love this new idea of going back to. I'm going to be playing Shinobi Art of Vengeance this week, and I'm so excited about that. And love Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I can't wait to play this Masters of the Universe Brawler. I think that's going to be super fun. The Sonic Crossworlds, I think, is going to be a blast. I like seeing a tease of what's coming up for Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I saw that.
Both, a new character. I can't remember the name of the character, but a whole new kind of direction, plus news that more from the main character's story from Black Myth Wukong is going to continue as well. Resident Evil Requiem looks great. Chronos, which is coming out pretty soon. I'm super psyched about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good show.
It was a good show. Did you?
It's not just Grand Theft Auto next year. There's going to be other things to
right?
enjoy. Yeah,
I almost forgot about GTA, to be honest, during this conversation. Did you make? I saw you made some content for Gamescom. Was there anything that came out of that for you, or anything like at the show in particular? Maybe not necessarily game announcements, but stuff that you heard. Like I know viewership was up and all that stuff, but was there anything else that stood out?
Well, I mean, one thing that it's not necessarily a a specific game. I mean, there were tons of titles that I'm excited to play, but this also pertains to the launch of Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is this week as well. I'm seeing this kind of weaponization of frame rates and things like Digital Foundry, which I love those guys. This is not meant to be a slight towards those guys or their incredible work. But, you know, I reviewed the game because the embargo was up on Friday, the new Metal Gear, and it's an amazing love letter to the classic game. And I just saw a lot of hate around the frame rates and some of the frame stuff that Digital Foundry rightly pointed out. And it makes sense to discuss the stuff, and these things can be improved and tweaked, and these games should ship finished and stuff. But I didn't notice the frame rates at all, Naomi. I played the hell out of that game. I didn't notice any drops or anything. I had so much fun with it. I didn't even mention it in the review because I was like, I didn't even think about it. But we're living in that. And the other thing that I saw was people just hating on Elden Ring in handheld mode on Switch 2 and its frame rate. And maybe that's true, but we're also months and months away from that game being ready. People were getting an early look at it. And I am a 60 frames per second guy for sure. I love that when things run at a stable 60. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes this industry just likes to generate drama and get so caught up in things where we know we live in an era where patches happen. We know that some stuff can be fixed and adapted. And I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some of the story, like I think it's a better and a bigger story that Elden Ring is going to be coming to a handheld console than it is that the game doesn't run at a stable 30 right now in handheld mode months before it's released. I think it's cool that Elden Ring is going to be available to millions of players that may have skipped out on it the first time. And it's an amazing open world game of the year. You know, it's an amazing game. So I'm really excited that more people are going to play that. And I'm also excited that people are going to play Metal Gear Solid Delta who maybe never played Snake Eater for the first time. And there are lots of ways to play Snake Eater if you prefer to do it that way. But Delta is really, really lovely. So it was just an observation around some of the news around Gamescom. But lots of software, lots of really cool games. I know the industry has its struggles and there's problems and stuff, but there is so much incredible art and so many cool things to be excited about. And honestly, so many people that are persevering in the face of all the challenges that exist in this industry to make our lives a little more fun, and I applaud that so much. Man, do we need that.
We do need that. I'm going to end it there because that was the perfect way to wrap up our show today. Victor, always such a pleasure. I hope you have a good rest of your week and, enjoy playing the next big game. I guess Silksong is coming out the soonest, so we'll see that.
Yeah, I've got Shinobi and Gears in the pipeline, and Silksong. Yeah, we're eating okay.
Oh, yeah. Good time to be a gamer. Thank you, Naomi. Thanks.
Big time.
Bye.
Thank you. See you soon.
Victor Lucas is creator and host of The Electric Playground. You can follow him on Instagram at Batwing.
Flawless victory! Continue!
And that's it for This Week in Gaming. I'm your host, Naomi Kyle. I had such a blast bringing you the news this week. Thank you for listening, and a shout out to my co-writer, Josh Seaman. From all of us here at This Week in Gaming, we wish you a fun-filled week. We'll see you same time, same place. Talk to you later.
This Week in Gaming is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more podcasts just like these.